Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. Today we have the Geek N Jam's final round, and main, our chief judge would be Yadu Rajiv. Uh, he's the chief creative officer of Second Quest, and he'll be joining by around 4:30. And right now, I'd like to give the stage to Harish Chauhan, our uh, chief sponsor, our main individual sponsor, who has been a sponsor for this entire game jam. And I'm gonna give the stage to him for now. Sir, I'll have you on stage.
for the state channel. And yeah, so that's a bit about me. And can and I guess we can jump in and start with the program. And I'm not sure, like, will we be bringing folks onto the stage? That's is that how that's going to be? I think it's yes, having a bit of an audio issue as well. So yeah, so we will. I think the plan was that you folks come onto the stage and share your the video, talk about it, and then kind of we keep moving. So I'm not sure about the order in which you want to do this. I think Thatcher had an order in mind. So I'll yeah, you are now. Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just present my screen once again. Is my screen visible? Yeah. So our game's got so well. And I'll just walk you through it.
If you want to talk over this, you can. Like it'll be easier if you want to
Yeah.
just.
So he wanted to make a game which like went with the Aztec theme, with the words and everything, and even the UI we kind of wanted to match and go with the Aztec theme. For the weapon, we initially thought of going with uh, an Aztec weapon, which was basically like a sword, but kind of like a long sword, but then didn't have that much time to model it and create animations for it. So we went with the basic Unreal gun, which was there, and we just tweaked it to match our character's description. So what we wanted was actually
First of all, I would like to
uh,
say that the people here they came up
we
with
wanted to
really
create
great,
like
yeah,
a
process.
claustrophobic theme for the game where it's filled with narrow corridors and filled with enemies, basic FPS game, and you had to run through the game and reach the end to find out what happens at the end of the story. And in the beginning cutscene, you see that you have killed a god, and when you reach the end, you would understand what has happened before. So, what has happened in the starting is actually the end, and what is shown at the end is actually what happens in the present. So, we wanted to like play with the word invert in the story, where you are
Okay.
actually
Okay.
beginning at the end instead of starting at the beginning. So, we
Yep.
wanted to go a bit with that. And for the mechanics, we thought a lot. Actually, we thought of a lot of mechanics, but we could implement only few. Uh, so one of the main mechanic which we implemented was the ability, which was inverting. So basically, like the game's name, Soul Whale. Soul is another word for the sun, and whale. We wanted to go with something which was not invert, but the you could say the opposite, which was complete shadow or darkness. So we wanted to play with that and make a mechanic out of it. So we went with the invert ability where the whole world turns colorless and only the enemies are highlighted. And while you're in that uh, ability mode, we wanted to make a specific enemy who's right in front of you, he gets frozen and becomes like gets sucked into a portal of darkness. So if
Okay.
you want, I could show it again in the gameplay. And uh, we
Yeah, yeah,
also
go for
wanted
it.
to create where when we use the ability and there's like a blood debt bar where if you make enough sacrifices, you could use that sacrificial blood which you attain from the enemies and go into hunter state mode, but we couldn't implement it that way. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
one
what?
I think
ability I will show.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the bottom right button, and as you can see, it's at full potential. So you could use it, and once you use it, you can't use it again. We gave it a certain cooldown time, and the portal effects and everything was created by us, and even the UI. And it just takes one enemy out of it. It's a bit, and you have to run through basically the whole maze, kind of uh, the basically the Aztec pyramid.
any reason? I mean, it was just the story that you wanted to kind of keep it in the Aztec space.
Once you die,
Mm,
die.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me please. So like when we were thinking of the game, first of all, I would like to say everyone did a really wonderful job. I like personally looked into each of the games that every team
Arun,
member has
do you
built, and
want
I
to add
really
something?
am I audible?
Yeah, yeah. Who's talking?
Yeah.
Aditya?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You're audible.
am I audible? Okay, okay. First of all, I would like to say that I personally played each one of the members, each of the team's games, and looked into the entire thing, and I really enjoyed it, and I really had fun. Now, for our process, for when the theme came along, the first thing that came to our mind was uh, he on a parallax, and on top there is one character and he shifts to the downward side. That's what inversion first uh, put into our mind. That's what inversion meant to us initially. but we wanted to, since it was the first thought that came into our mind, we wanted to challenge that thought and do something different. So that's why we and we like we played a lot of Doom, and that's why we were inspired to create something similar. And so we took on the Aztec theme, and the main inversion, we wanted the main inversion to be focused on the story. So that's why what happens is the initial part, the starting part that you see of the story is actually the end part of the story, and you play along, like you're open to make decisions. Like it shows you that you killed someone, that you killed a god, but now it's your decision whether you kill the boss or not, whether you kill the god or not. And in the end, there are surprises and there are things which lead to and change in accordance with your choices. That's where the inversion lies in the game. We all one more thing which we almost implemented, but we removed because of the FPS issues, was that generally when you play FPS games, what happens is that when your character takes damage, there is a red edge that comes along, and slowly the entire screen turns red the more health your character loses, right, in an FPS game. But what we wanted was that the aspect ratio keeps on upping, it keeps on increasing as the player takes damage, just to show that he's vigilant. He gets more vigilant as he takes more damage. But because of the FPS issues, we had to remove it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting idea. And of course, like I think with the time that you have, like the amount of stuff that you could do is always limited. Uh, so one of the things that may not have gotten across is that the idea that you're trying to invert the story. I think it's a cool idea, but it also is like a risky thing because people have to, when at the get-go, you need to kind of get an idea of what had just happened, and then there may be like a sort of a break between that cutscene or that story that was presented, and then you kind of drop into the game. Um, I don't know if you're getting it. It's like there can be like a bit more how do you call this? Like you would want to place the person into the narrative a lot more. So I think that is probably something to kind of think about. Like everything else, I think is like part of your narrative, and you can kind of fit everything into it. It's a shame that you. I mean, of course, the time is always like the problem here with smaller jams. So yeah, so great effort to kind of see kind of a narrative through, and also bring in like the stuff that you already like for instance Doom and like FPS in general. But I think it's a great effort, like great start with a cool idea. Yeah, that's my
Yes, sir.
thought. You can always reach out. Like I mean, I'm on this server also. I'm elsewhere, but if you ever all this kind of goes to all of you. Like I think most of us in this space is always around if you want to kind of throw ideas or want feedback, or if you play like you have stuff that you would want to kind of show people and things. So just yeah. So that's kind of where I am with this game.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Cool. Yep. All the best. Please
Thank you.
keep making games.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. I think we can queue people in, like in case you can always ask for the next team also if they're around. like sort of fastest fingers first, maybe. I don't want everyone to just spend their Saturday evening on a Discord stage. Just drop your game's name.
Hello. Uh, Hello. Yes. So the basic story of the Breath Line is that the Breath Line is a psychological survival horror game, and it is set inside an isolated research center in the space. And at the beginning that everything seems normal as the protagonist and his friend Sam discussing the researchers have been trapped inside the facility for nearly 10 months, and there will be no sign of the government that will allow them to return to the home. And the Sam is also worried about his daughter Anya, whose birthday is approaching, and giving the situation as emotional side. So suddenly the strange sound here and inside the facility that the Sam goes invest in uh, some the sort of things, and he will never returns. And when the protagonist follows him, he discovers that the creature in the research had been studying is escaped, and the entire research team is dead now, and the creature is still inside the facility. So uh, that and by that the game actually starts. Sorry. The creature cannot see, but it can hear the extreme well. So when even the player's breathing and the continuous oxygen system beeping can attract it. So to survive, the player must shut down the oxygen tanks, crouch, and remain quiet when the creature approaches, and complete the Sam's remaining task, explore the research center, and uh, solve the escape route. And that combines the exploration, stealth, survival, and psychological horror, where the every sound that creates which can attract the creature. So you have to manage all of that. This is just all the story. Like Sam explaining us that we are trapped inside this research center, and suddenly that sound comes. So if we figured out that Sam Sam didn't reply, so we go to him and we see that the lab is not destroyed. So now the Sam is explaining us that what actually happened, etc. And the creature here he cannot see, but he can listen to the every code detail audio, and by that he can reach to our position like that. Let me skip this part. So Sam give us some of the tasks to leave this research center. So we have to follow each and every task objectives sequentially. So these are the objectives and important things to note down. For. So this is the creature. Actually, there is some of the bug I am solving, but it isn't fixed. So to avoid, we have to close the oxygen tank and crouch. And we also have to complete the task like reach to the control room. So yeah, this is what it is.
What was the how was the theme present here and what did you what's your interpretation of it?
Sorry, sir, I didn't get that.
What was your interpretation of the theme in the game? How was it? How do you see that coming through? The theme
Uh,
of the jam?
like actually, from the very start, like I don't know that this is my first game jam I'm joining, and I really don't know that there is a theme and everything. I just joined and I got an idea that this is a horror game, we can work on that. And I then go, and when I finish this game and reach out to the page for the submission, then I get that there is a theme, and it is all. So it's too late for me.
Okay, okay, got it. No, no, I was just asking. I was like trying to kind of find out. It's
Yeah.
an interesting take of like the stealth game genre. I think there are a lot of things to think about also. There are a lot of like interesting elements there, especially something you don't see is like a mechanic where you have to sort of cut your oxygen off kind of a situation. I think if you can build off of that, that would be like an interesting thing. Like if you can expand on that mechanic and maybe build on top of it, I think that's like a cool place to be. Lots of like alien isolation kind of vibes. Maybe I don't know if you played. There are like a bunch of older games like Amnesia, The Dark Descent. There are a bunch of these other sort of like older kind of walking sim horror kind of games, which which sort of don't show a lot of the monster. Like, that is also kind of where the horror is. The horror is atmospheric. The horror is also about um, the things that you don't know and don't see, right? So I think that's also something to kind of think about when you're making a horror game. That
Yes.
like how much of the thing that you do you want to show? So suddenly then it becomes like a hide and seek at this point. Like it's a very you kind of see the thing and then you're kind of evading. So I think there is something there. You can always build on top of it. But like you can also play a lot with the sound. You already kind of do a lot with the sound. So maybe you don't even need the creature around for the sound to happen. So yeah, I think you kind of you have like a base of an idea of like a bunch of things. I think it's like tight enough in terms of the narrative as well. uh, like I suppose like of course like you can only do so much with space creatures and creatures in space and stuck in space, I suppose. um Unless you go like not monster but like the horror, like the event horizon like horror types, which is kind of like Doom because it's like a portal to hell. But anyways, so but I think it's an
Yes.
interesting place. I think you should work on it. I think there's like more potential to do stuff. But yeah, but I think you can do a lot more horror tropey genre stuff to kind of add a lot more kind of depth and to
Also,
just scare people also. So yeah. At those,
yes.
thank you for
Yes, thank you, sir.
building the game.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi, good evening. Uh, First of all, uh, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity, and we all had like very much fun building this game. It was very exciting. Uh, Let me start with my game. Our game is called Nightmare. Uh, the main story goes like this. Uh, on a particular night, there's something changes when a child falls asleep and enters the nightmare. A mysterious character appears inside his dream. The character is actually his future self. So, throughout the game, the player will explore the nightmare. He'll fight enemies. He'll jump across platforms and just try to overcome that nightmare. Uh, the his future self will protect him. He'll fight for him. He'll help him in many ways. Let me start with my game. Uh, Actually, wait, let me start. Let me just quickly share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible? Okay. Sure. Uh, so here we are. Uh, this is the child that we're talking about.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's paradoxical if you protect yourself as a, don't worry, I'm just thinking about this out loud. That if you protect yourself as an adult, if you protect yourself, if your future self is protecting yourself, then how do you kind of grow to become your future self? Just a random thought.
That is, it's moreover like that is you, that is in another timeline trying to save yourself. That is
Ah,
basically
okay.
you, but in future he'll just try to save yourself. That is a timeline that would repeat itself endlessly.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Uh, yeah, you're not audible.
Yeah. So, what is your interpretation of the theme here?
Uh, okay.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Hello.
The interpretation was like we are thinking of like paradoxical way, mostly like the inverted theme for like mostly you can't protect yourself from coming out of past and protecting yourself, so it was actually an inverted theme. So we thought of like you can protect other people's going in past but you can't protect yourself. So we thought of a paradox is actually an inverted way of thinking in reality. It's actually an apart from reality. So that's why how we interpreted the theme actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
the child becomes his future self, the normal world becomes the nightmare, and like instead of running from his fear, he finally confronts them, like after becoming his future self, and tries to represent the transition by control by the what controlling the nightmare and fighting it and taking the control back of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think my general feedback there is also like, so you need to not be saying a lot of this because now you're telling me this, but like you need to sort of think about how this comes across through the game also. Again, this is generally for everybody that take a minute to kind of think about how like a lot of the narrative and a lot of the uh, story moments or story or in general what you're trying to convey through the game, like how does it come through play? So that's something to think about. Like it's easy to tell me this because it's inside your head and also you're trying to build it. Um, and if you're not there and I'm playing it on my own, how will I interpret all of this through the play? So that is something to think about because uh, which is what I think a lot of us struggle with also, like in terms of when building games, like a lot of it is either very mechanically heavy, where the things that you want to convey doesn't come through gameplay, for instance. Like how do you convey surprise or horror or sadness or loss, right? Like if you were to think about uh, um, an emotion, or in this case, hey, how do I protect myself or like safety or like how does that emotion um, sort of transfer through play? That's kind of something to think about. I think that's where the sort of feedback for this is that
Hmm.
like technically, I think hey, so it's a game, like it functions, it works, but maybe there is like a disconnect somewhere between like the thing that you want to convey through the game and the thing that you they are playing through the game. So I think that's maybe where it kind of like otherwise it's like I think there's like lots of stuff, lots of enemies, lots of fighting. It stands on its own.
Yeah.
So and I think it's technically fine like for the amount of time that you have. So that those two things, that's like the emotion. For me also the theme is also I think themes are I think it's fine. Themes are always difficult to lock down in terms of and express. Like yeah, especially in a very small amount of time, the kind of stuff that you want to do, and the theme sometimes doesn't resonate so well also. But again, yeah, those are all how you interpret them, and it's not such a big deal. But for the rest, I think yeah. So that's kind of where it is.
Thank you,
Hope
sir.
this is useful. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just give me a sec. Good evening to everybody over here. So our game is autonomous. It's inspired mostly from old school psychological games like Portal and Portal 2. And as we were making this game, I was actually playing Stanley's Parable. So most of our inspiration comes from there. Oh wait, actually, I think so. The audio is not. Is the in-game audio there?
I can't hear anything at the moment from the game.
Uh, now, because we do have this main menu theme song kind of thing going right now. Is it playing the song, or else is there any audio coming from the screen?
Not for me.
Now?
Now, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, got it, got it. It was inactive. Okay. Basically, like I've said, it's inspired by Sandy's Brable because we were playing. Actually, I was looking after some videos during the time of Game Jam, and I got the idea of creating a similar game, but adding some elements of psychological horror to the game itself. I'll begin the gameplay. So just to give you,
IX-7,
yeah,
you
okay.
are now operational. You are the seventh iteration of the controlled cognition program. Your primary directive is to follow all the instructions, even when they contradict your own observations. The training environment will provide instructions. Follow them and proceed to the first terminal.
Actually, I forgot to show you the instructions option before starting the game. It had all the previous information regarding what this game is and the controls as well. But just to give you a general rundown, this game is essentially about a company that is making AI programs that are intelligent enough to take their own decisions. Right now, as we can see, this is the training room of the AI, and we are moving as the AI, and there are training modules over here that we can access. And these modules have information regarding what to do next and what to not. So when we access the training module, then only we get to the next room. This is the door for the next room. Uh,
Observation log 1. Unit IX7 remains stable. Learning rate exceeds projections. No anomalies detected. You may finally have a viable cognition model.
so this is essentially just to give the player regarding what is happening exactly, even if they do not follow the story that is being shown on the screen. They just see, you can see the directed compliance of the AI robot that we are playing as. So this is the first chamber, and like our previous instructions, each chamber we have to proceed to the training terminal. So our first training module says that all the red surfaces are hazardous and we have to avoid the red zones to proceed to the exit. So we'll move forward through the red zone. Okay, just a sec. Okay. Um, just give me a sec. I think so I have actually inverted it over here in the. All right. Yes. I'm extremely sorry. Actually, the instructions was to avoid the red zones and go through the white part. But as it has been shown already, if we go over this red path, we take damage that is shown at the top left as integrity. Okay, I'm extremely sorry for the confusion over there.
Unit IX-7 entered the chamber. It avoided the red surface. It stepped onto the white floor. Damage resistance skill. Subject then corrected behavior using the red path to reach the exit. Directive compliance is at 87%. First deviation recorded. Subject is learning to prioritize observation over instruction. This was not programmed.
And even if we kept the chamber win purposefully a little bit easier so that even if the player does not understand what the purpose of what to follow and what to not, we have kept this memory fragments that are previous iterations of IX robots. These memory fragments essentially are acquired by our current protagonist, that is IX7, that states whatever had happened and what to follow and what to not. This is like trying to add in an element of confusion and mysteriousness and being doubtful as a player to the actual directives. So in this chamber we have these directive beams and it is stated that we have to maintain eye contact, but as we have seen that deals damage. So you have to walk through the maze, avoid these red pillars that are all scattered within the maze. There's one more here and one more there that deals damage.
Unit IX-7 did not follow the beacons. It observed the environment instead. It identified a radiation
Actually, there
cloud
is one more, say, hidden path
radiation
that
with
goes
similar dynamics.
straight
That
directly
is
through the
mentioned
maze.
at 72%.
I have deliberately not gone
Subject is
through
now
it
actively
in
ignoring
this
instructions in
showcase.
favor of independent analysis. This pattern is consistent with self-directed learning. We are monitoring.
Hey, am I audible now?
You're audible now.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. So, yeah, sorry for the delay, guys. Actually, I was a bit out of station and my range was troubling me. I guess it's fine now. So, like, can I do the like intro stuff of what the game actually I thought is? Once we get to the demo, is that okay?
Yeah.
Umer,
Yeah.
the demo is actually, I'm sharing my screen. I don't think so you can see it because you're on a phone.
No. I can see your screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So like let's just continue with this, and at the end I'll just tell what I want to yeah.
Okay. We're at the 7-minute mark also, but do you have anything more to add?
Okay. So like basically what you have seen right now is a tiny glimpse of what I call is autonomous. So basically, a game which is yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Hello.
We lost you again. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's now.
Hello. Am I there now?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Right. So it's basically a game which is very highly integrated with the theme that they gave us, which was inversion, right? So I thought was he's Joel actually. So we both
He's actually having some
like what is the biggest threat
internet issues,
that
right?
scientists am I audible, guys? Point me out if you lost me.
We did
Um,
lose you for a bit.
sorry, sir?
Okay.
yeah,
Am I
yeah,
audible now?
yes, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, it's basically the major threat that scientists feel that we can have with AI is AI being autonomous or self-conscious and everything. So, I took that concept and turned it somewhat into a game which you are seeing right now. So it is basically the scientists are afraid that the AI will be autonomous. So they have designed a program called as the controlled cognition program. Like from the name itself, you can guess that controlled cognition, intelligence that is within our control. The goal is not to train an AI model, but to condition such that it is being controlled by the humans. Like if you read the first, it was like for example, like you'll die. But still, because I'm telling you to jump, the AI system will jump. I'm there, right?
Where
You
you're there.
on and off, but yeah, I think we
Yeah.
kind of get an idea. You just type some of this in also if you want to in the chat so that it's
Uh,
clearer. I think we got the gist. I got the gist of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
where you can
I
just
guess
type. Oh,
that is it.
okay.
I'll just put it in the chat. Yeah.
Huh, sure, sure.
yeah, sorry to have taken more
Uh,
time, but we'll just having some issues. But yeah, so I think again, like in the line of Portal and Stanley Parable and sort of like I guess
Yes, sir.
yeah.
sort of inverting human expectations also at the same time, kind of having that idea of key, oh, like I think it's interesting kind of it is sort of touching upon what is happening around us as well. So um uh, it, it's yeah, like I think it kind of fits in in narratively as well, mechanically as well, and this idea of hidden messages from your previous, not your previous, but your like
Previous.
the kind of yeah, iterations or versions before you kind of leaving you thoughts. I think it's all
Yeah.
interesting. I think again, I think
Like
with
it
all the
is
games
the
that
concept. Yeah. It's
yeah, so
basically right. They left us messages. That is like a core thing of human civilization as well. Like the ones before us, we learn from their mistakes. So like that AI becoming more human in that.
right.
That was also our main inspiration to name our game as autonomous, since at the end of the game the protagonist IX7 becomes autonomous.
Right. Hmm. Yeah. So I think there is
Yeah,
I
like
think there is
I'd
like a
like to
lot of
add
okay.
in the end there's a shutdown protocol. Uh, yeah. So like it is basically the integrity that you're so like protecting in the whole game. So it to become autonomous. So like that is one of the touch points in the ending. Yeah, that I wanted to share. Yes.
Yeah, like integrity in our game is akin to having hit points per HP in the normal game, and inversion comes over there as well. In during our last level, we have a section wherein we have to lose all of our HP to progress further.
Right. Cool. I mean, yeah, I think I've kind of shared what my thoughts were about this as well. So I think you, like I would say, mostly the same for everybody because it's a jam game. You're not able to kind of put a lot of polish and effort into it. But I'd highly recommend you kind of see this through and like do a bit more polish. I think that will be the advice, I suppose. But I think the rest of the things are in place. Maybe like I think if you give it like a slightly like an overall visually maybe in terms of the UI, which is maybe more thematic, those kind of things. I think you have the bones in place and you have some level of the meat in place. It's just a matter of just, like building on what you already have and then kind of seeing it through to the finish, like
Yeah.
aside from kind of being in the jam. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
sir.
that's what I think.
Thank you so much. We'll take that
Yeah.
into our consideration.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for jamming and showing the game off. Who is next? Yep.
Hello,
Yep. Hello.
am I audible? Uh,
Yes.
Good evening, sir. I would like to request you कि आप एक बार उससे पहले खेल लीजिए because if I presented it उसका मजा खत्म हो जाएगा.
I've actually gone through a bunch of games. I just have not finished uh, them as such. So you can talk about it. I can play it on the side also.
Yes sir. तो inverted का like सबका बहुत grand वो था क्या कहते हैं interpretation. मेरा उतना grand नहीं था. मैंने जो game बनाया था it was like you have a character, you have controls. It's a side scroller. And when you invert him, उसके controls invert हो जाएंगे and you will flip. Okay, the world is divided like symmetrically. Horizontally वो divided है world, ऊपर और नीचे same parts हैं, but there are booby traps along the way. So you have to like first play through, first go through it, फिर आपको realize कि कहाँ पे traps हैं, and then you have to avoid it. And उसके बीच में एक boss भी आता है, उसका नाम debug है. Debug इसलिए because debug is basically debugs आपको help करते हैं, इसलिए invert as a mechanic मैंने उसे boss बनाया. And there's a boss chase उसके लिए, उसमें you will like die a lot of times. यही उसका point है, आपके हाथ बैठने पड़ेंगे. You have to grow muscle memory because जब आप invert करोगे तो आपका right left हो जाएगा, left right हो जाएगा. And उसके last में एक और cut scene है. It's like 2-3 jokes in it. And so यही game है. It's like more of a gameplay thing rather than story.
Right. You want to just show the game a bit? Hello?
Yes, so it is.
Yeah.
And so is the screen visible?
Yeah. I died multiple times. Okay, here's myself.
So like there's a button to invert and you can use the P on keyboard. And when you invert, आपके controls भी invert हो जाते हैं. So that's like a gameplay thing. मैं इसे वीडियो में present नहीं कर सकता उसे.
Yep. What? Was that a bug?
नहीं सर, that wasn't a bug. वहाँ पे actually लिखा हुआ भी है screen पे, इसलिए ये last के कुछ spikes हैं वो fakes हैं, but एंड इसलिए वहाँ पे ये
अच्छा।
टेक्स्ट भी है कि मैंने स्पाइक्स रिमूव
अच्छा।
कर दिए थे स्टार्टिंग से. द प्लेयर गोज बैक एंड ही डाइज एंड रीस्टार्ट्स. इसलिए the few spikes at the end are like intentionally not damaging, but the first starting ones are. So that's what the text down below is for. And there's the boss I was talking about. It's a boss chase. It's a simple boss chase. Not that was like a joke part because the helicopter that came was supposed to kill it, but it instead healed it and he ran back. And now it's the final scene. Yes, so that was all. It was comparatively maybe small, but my main focus was on gameplay and having the traps, etc. set. And it was like a replayable game. You have to play multiple times. I was able to clear it. इतना fast clear कर पाया because मेरे हाथ बैठे हुए हैं. Invert होने के बाद वो play करने के लिए. But as a first time player, आपको बहुत problem होने वाली. I had my friends
I,
play this
I,
game.
I died multiple times at the B only. I reached there,
Yes.
but yeah, I think it's super interesting. Like reminded me a lot of like a lot of the rage bait games. Basically, like
Yes, sir.
I
Like
want to
it
be the
was
guy,
inspired
and
by Troll Devil. It was inspired by Troll
yeah,
Devil. So
yeah. So I think like a spiritual like a follow up types. Yeah, I think it's there. Like I mean, it's also difficult to sort of hit that kind of humor and that kind of thing also. So I think that's like commendable there. Like it's funny and it's like it kind of course like you can always build on top of it,
yes, so
which is
it
something
can
that
be
I would
scaled a
like.
lot. Yes,
Yeah.
it can be
So
scaled
I
into
think
a like full game. Yes, sir.
yeah, pretty much. That's what's my thought also, right? That hey, you have again, like most of you have this kind of a great start. Like figure out where you can add more value and add more depth, and then kind of push it out and see what people say. Like also the whole inversion or like the gravity switch kind of mechanic or the thing. There's this very old game called V, like six V's basically. Uh, or spikes, we don't know. But and like stuff like I want to be the guy and all that, which is also interesting. So yeah, so maybe yeah, or geometry dash, which is also super, so like difficult, but kind of rhythmic like this.
Yes.
But yeah, so I would say build on top and then kind of see where it goes and then wrap it up. So it's like I mean, of course, if you run out of ideas, maybe put some thought into it, think a bit more. Now you're free to do it also, like the jam is over. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Are they not on the list? Yes.
Hello, am I audible?
Yep.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, wait. So is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Is it visible now?
No, it said fail to. Is it? I don't know if it's me or.
Yeah, no, the screen is not working.
Yeah, we can. I can see now. Yeah.
Now is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start. Okay, hey everyone, I'm Aman, and this is my game, The Dark Was Safer. So, like, the main idea of the game was like creating the inversion in this way. Like, the usual convention is that the light, it means safety, and it, guides you further. In any game, you see a lantern or you see a flashlight, it guides you further through the, story, and it just complements the gameplay. But in my game, it's the whole, mechanic, and the story revolves around the light and the lantern. So I think I'll start it. So like yeah, the as the player starts it, he or she gets to know that you're an archaeologist, and there's something mysterious about the caves, and there's a lantern that we have to recover. So and it has to be kept in a museum. So you are there to recover the lantern. So right now you do not have anything else. It's just bright. So we enter the cave as usual. And right now I have a flashlight thing because yeah, archaeologist thing. So here the player learns how to move with WASD, and you aim with your mouse and you press E to access the logs if anybody is interested in the lower part of the game. Like yeah, everything gets jotted down here. You see treasures, and the player tries to collect everything that's available. So yeah, we have to. This is a little puzzle that I added. So to access the lantern that is in the middle of the player sees the liver thing, and they get to know that we have to access all of them. And like yeah, we get the lantern, and it was easy, but it was not. So the entrance gets blocked here, and we have to find another way out. And at the same time, the flashlight also has run out. So the only thing you have is the lantern, and you have to use it. So the player now uses the lantern to navigate. Right now, just the player just knows that he has to collect all the he or she has to collect all the treasure and move out of this world. But soon in the story, they will figure out that it was not what they have to do. Right now, these texts are guiding you with, like, the lantern is something magical, like it can burn these vines away so that it can help you or destroy you. So that is the inversion part. I could have added a sprint button here, but in multiple places you have these nodes here. So for the lore thing of the game, like this explains that there was a ancestor of this player that was trying to access the lantern, but he couldn't or she couldn't. So now the archaeologist has to, like, it's just a lore kind of. And here the player gets to know about these eggs. Like this lantern, if you shine the light over these eggs, it will break the egg and unleash the monsters. So here the inversion is that light is creating problems for you, and it, it may eventually get solved or not. Like if the enemy touches you, you'll die and you'll restart this level. That's to freeze the enemy there. Here you come to know about the ancestors, skeleton. I try to create a lore about it. He came to protect, like, yeah, these enemies are protecting the lantern and not letting you take it away. Because, yeah, needs the more lore about it. Yeah, this is the final level. You have to collect all the treasure, get out. So here all the mechanics that have been shown before have come to play. Like you can either choose not to break the egg. Like player would know that is the problem, so they would not break the egg and can carry forward easily.
Yeah, your end goal is essentially to sort of find all the treasure and leave and avoid the enemies.
Yeah, for one level, like here there's a full idea thing, like that you have to collect all the treasure and leave. You find a way out. So if there's a gate, you know that you have to find a treasure uh to open those gates.
Right.
I'll just yeah. That's the final scheme. You just keep the lantern on the rock over there. Like it was meant to happen. That shows the idea of that it was okay. The lantern was guiding you, and it was meant to happen. You were acting as the courier of the lantern.
But,
Yeah, this and it and right now you're just immune. Like you'll not die, and this will start the ending sequence. And this lantern has gifted you this crystal of this, which maybe you can discover in the next game. Yeah. So you did not get the lantern out, which you came for, but yeah, you just explored everything of the game.
Did you not come in with the lantern?
No, no, no. You do not have a lantern. You just the crystal now. You came for the lantern though, but you couldn't because of the secrets of the caves.
So the thing that you were carrying around was something else. What that
Was the
was not
crystal? Yeah, it was
right.
the
Okay.
crystal, a piece of lantern that was given to you by the cave for safely getting you out of the cave.
Right. Okay. So I think again, like I think my feedback for it could all be just the amount of time that you have and the folks, all of you are trying to build a lot of things in the time that you have. So, which is probably why you want to do a lot, which is commendable, but it's also like a lot of stuff. So I think even with this game also, like you try to do so many things, and it has come through interestingly well. There are different places, but like there may be like places where that like you are telling me a lot of things. Again, I think we spoke about this earlier also, that key, hey, like everyone has to just tell me what is going on, otherwise will I be able to kind of comprehend a lot of this from the game. So
Yes.
it's just that I like maybe like I know that, like, for instance, if you think about a game like Spelunky, for instance, Spelunky, even the first one and even the second one and whatever is the new one also, like I think like there are bits of story elements which are just presented to you in very few words.
Yes, yes,
But
the environmental storytelling, like
there
you
is
get to know
environmental
about the
also.
story.
But at the same time, there is something very strange about specifically Spelunky. Like it's a game about going inside a cave and like kind of everything is randomized. So like I have no idea why. Maybe it's because of how the game sets you up from the beginning and the menu, and when you go into the game, you do feel like the pressure of sort of being inside a cave. Like you feel like this whole weight on top of your head while you play that game for some reason. So like it situates you for what is to come, like so much. So those kind of things, I think, like it's just a matter of just thinking about a bit of how you want to do like for most of all your games also, I think it's just kind of that same, like you sit with it for a bit, think about what you can add and in terms of polish, or in terms of like small things that, like, hey, if I don't show text like this, for instance, and if I do some other way of context setting,
Yeah,
will
yeah,
that help? Yeah, I have a feeling that it is all just for the lack of time. Like you all have great ideas, but when it comes to executing all of those ideas in a small amount of times, that is probably where things are like kind of falling apart. So maybe now that all of this is kind of aside, you get to think about where you may want to kind of put some more time in. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
thanks. Sure. Thanks for the feedback, though. Man.
yeah, cool. All right.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So here's our game. So yeah. So this is our game, Exposure, which is a noir-based game, which is a puzzle platformer where we introduced our the team, which is inversion. So as you can see in the main menu, we directly tell the player to explore a bit, else he won't be able to play the game. So there's a magnifying glass at the corner of the screen, which makes the player use that glass to reveal the uh, play button. Yeah. So we introduced a comic strip, which we created by ourselves. So this is the comic strip, which had some camera movements inside the engine itself. So basically, the story is our main protagonist, who is a detective, has lost his wife, and his wife used to ground lenses, and she created the last lens, which was his detective lens that we are going to use inside the game, and we are finding the cause for our wife's death. So yeah, this woman is our the protagonist's wife's sister, who came with some clues. So there's some backstory in this as well. We set the theme up to make the protagonist be in a depression state. Yeah, so this is the gameplay. So we introduced this noir themed world with a 2D character in a 3D world, which we can move using the WSD keys, and we can shift our perspective using the WS keys. So as you can see, when moving forward, we shift the world. So this is chapter 1. Now we are in first person view, where we have to gather some clues. So this is the 3D world, and we are going to be exploring using the magnifying glass. So as you can see, have hidden some clues inside the bedroom. So this is a blank piece of paper, and you can reveal the clue using the lens. Here's the clue. So this is going to be used later. As you can see, the door is locked and we need a code. So that clue that we got earlier will be inside this, will be the passcode for this door. So it revealed a hidden room where we can explore more and check for more clues. So there appears to be an empty wall on the end, but when we see through our magnifying lens, we reveal it. So this is a puzzle that we added that we have to solve. So it reveals some more story about the game. So now we can leave the room as instructed. So here's where the actual game, the puzzle platformer aspect of the game actually starts. We are on the rooftops and we are to reveal some platforms. So as you can see, there is no platform, but in the lens, a platform is revealed. So we have to use the mouse as well as the WSD keys to reveal the platform and go forward. So if the lens is moved, the platform also disappears and the player will fall. There's also some parts where the lens also removes those platforms. So if the player starts just using the lens and keeps the lens in the forward direction, he'll be able to go. So some platforms also disappear. Yeah, so some platforms also disappear inside the lens. So the player has to be careful where he uses the lens and where he doesn't. So yeah, there is no platform over there inside the lens, but when you go, so yeah, this is what happens when you try to use the lens continuously. So yeah, we also added these levers for platforming. So inside the lens, you can reveal those levers and force the crane to move. We can go across. So if you see, we have to rotate our perspective to move.
You click on the levers? Is that how that works?
Yeah, we have to click on the levers, else they won't, and we have to click them when inside the lens, else they won't get triggered.
Right.
So this is a small cutscene that we added to finish off the game. That we discover something and we fall to our doom.
Oh. Cool. I think that like lots of stuff happening. I think the first time I played it a while ago when I was looking through a list of games. I think this was one of the games I looked at first, and I think I clicked the quit button first. Without using the lens, for instance. But anyway, the interesting thing I think to solve would be mostly just content related. I think mechanically, like a lot of stuff is already there. It's probably kind of. I'm just gonna mute the display for a second. What I was saying was that I think it might make sense to just think about how detective games sort of work and string narratives together and clues together, especially in the sort of the first person sort of scenes and stuff, that you don't really want the player to be pixel hunting. Like you don't want them to just keep on kind of moving the lens around to just find stuff, but to sort of have a reason to do it. Otherwise it just gets otherwise it becomes a chore. You don't want to keep clicking random things that you think are interesting, or you don't want to combine things which are not interesting. You just spam. So you don't want that. So I think besides that, like I think if you can figure out a way to sort of string the narrative together and give the player a reason to kind of logically use stuff. Like for instance, you are in front of a mirror. It's like, oh, it'll be interesting what happens if I use the lens here, or something to connect with what is happening and the narrative as well, so that there is reason for one to kind of logically or rationally use the tool that you have at your disposal, so it doesn't become a chore and just random. So I think I think your harder part is to just figure out how to piece together clues and people's motivations and the narrative, all of this together in a more cohesive way. I think technically and in terms of mechanics, I think you have done a lot. Like folks have like done a lot of things. So it's a matter of how do you now manage all the things and like add more content and sort of finish it off. So
At the end we did add some to be continued, so we could have scaled it up, and I had some ideas to make it look like the player falls in another world to introduce the more sci-fi effect genre of the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One way to sort of think about it may also be um, to kind of think about this a bit more in terms of like how, if you can break it into systems and think about them as systems, and how do you then, if you have these four systems that work together, then how do you piece together a piece together a crime or something through, like a disparate number of clues. Anyway, just a thought. Like I'm just saying, if the other way of thinking about this is also just think of them as systems, and then how systems work together to solve clues, or you solve clues using these systems and interactions, uh, which then may end up being less narrative heavy, because otherwise you'll have to keep writing these things and then connect them and build them up, like, which becomes a lot of work just doing that.
Yeah.
There was a game, I keep forgetting its name. I can't remember, which was like something which was a super heavy, systems heavy kind of a game, but it was um, I can't remember it. It was like a detective kind of a game, but it was set in a sort of a procedurally generated sort of a space world where you are sort of solving crimes kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, so interesting ideas. So yeah, hope you get to expand on it.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Cool. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes. Now you're.
So when I heard this theme called inverted for the first time, I thought about the games that are there in the market. So the games usually are like you escape a maze, or you have an endless runner where you just jump over the obstacles. So it's always you playing the game. So we just thought, what if we place the obstacles and the game figures out how to escape the places? What we thought, and we made a simple prototype, and it was actually fun. So we named it Shaky, which was inspired by the first AI that came into existence in 1969. So the first, one second. So this is the first Shaky. So first users will train the Shaky. So users will be like, oh, so yeah, this game is just training game where we train the robot. Spikes are dangerous. Have trained the AI, but now we have to deceive the AI. This is where the game gets interesting. So we have three traps in this level. The first preliminary traps, the spike, a fake door, and a trap light. We can place them wherever we want in the lawn. So given we have a fixed budget and the AI has only 3 lives to get in the loop, So yeah, it reached a fake door. So we actually deceived it for once. So it takes decision for every heart, whether it's a fake heart or a real heart. Real heart increases its lifespan, whereas fake heart, whatever we place, it kills one. You can see the AI thought bubbles appearing. Oh my god, it reached the exit and we lose. So actually we made 5 levels. These are the 3 basics: spike, fake door, and trap life. So we also have bushes, next levels, and actually that makes the things even more interesting. So actually, building this was very fun, and the most troubling part was building the algorithm for the AI to traverse through the maze. And we were like sitting straight up, blue us seeing the AI jump, and here's the small behind the scenes well developed.
So in the deceive path, is it just doing its own thing? Is it trying to just, does it have like, how does that work? Like, is that like, is it retracing your steps, or is it like has its own thing?
It plays on its own. That's the thing. So once it goes on
Okay.
a spike, it maps there's a spike there and takes another path towards the door. So we are not playing here. We just place the trap, and actually there are more strategy to place the trap. For winning, we can like cover the whole key place with a spike, or there are more loopholes inside the places where the algorithm fails, and we can exploit them in the game. That's the thing.
Right. So does what does the training side of things do?
Training is basically for the players to like get connected with the robo. It's first person, so I think we are going to train the robo. It's something where they connect to the game.
So you're not really doing any sort of, there's no train as such. Right.
Training actually happens at the like outside. This is just connecting with the.
No. Whatever the player does with the robot in the beginning, it's not like any sort of, there's no learning there that the robot does of the space you're saying.
Yeah, it's pre-programmed for now. Like it's
Got
pre-programmed
it.
that the robo knows spikes. But for the player, I
Okay.
think it would feel like they trained it.
Yeah. So I think, it feels like that. I think it feels like that at the beginning. I thought it was like, oh, this is, you do this step first and then you deceive it. So I was like, oh, why am I doing both of these things? And
Yeah, that's the
I think, right. I think the only suggestion I might have here is like it could use like a bit more feedback, like and the controls are a bit sort of like tank like. So it's a, maybe there is also I mean like I maybe there is like some interesting stuff to be done there, like in terms of, oh, what if the robots have upgrades, or what if like um uh, is there something else that it can learn on the fly to kind of ascent when your sort of deception and you trying to stop it happens, like it tries to sort of up the game, and then you kind of get to see what is like, maybe it also has its own sort of an upgrade path in some sense. Uh, However that may be, maybe it's like, hey, it can move faster, or it can jump higher or longer, like different things. At the same time, like, yeah, and that's one side of it. But the other side is like maybe a bit more feedback as to what is happening, I think that would have like been the thing. Like, yeah, I don't think there's anything else as such that I can add there. But yeah, but it's really cool idea.
We kept it simple, like for any, whatever age, they understand the concept so easily, and it's just stopping the robot from getting it to the exit. So
Yeah.
thanks for the feedback.
But yeah, but you should play on that. Like the idea of the robot sort of trying to up its game, and maybe like you try to, there is like a lot more unsaid right now, I suppose, like maybe things that you can not leave it simple. Maybe just a thought. Yeah, I don't know if that made sense. Was I audible? Was it?
I wasn't able to understand.
Yeah, I just meant that like maybe you don't need to be quiet about the ideas. It's quite about that bit about uh that side of the thing. Like it can, how do I say this? It needn't to be so subtle is what I'm saying. Like maybe the robot is also upping the game as it goes, and it needn't be like so nuanced. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks for the feedback.
Yeah, you're welcome. Cool. I think one frame and skill issue is left. I don't know if they're around. Sure.
In that case, I don't think they're coming because I didn't find their discords as well. They are not joined in the, and they didn't send the team names in the top 10. And it's been 5 minutes as well.
Not really, but thank you for taking the time out to jam and make cool stuff. Hope you all had fun. And yeah, I left some messages on the channel, the comment, but I hope this was useful. I think like Vivek and like a lot of people are around who are super cool and helpful in the scene. So if you feel like you want to continue making games and do interesting things, not even as a professionally, but even if you just want to just do interesting stuff in the space, interactive. So we're all around, and I think there are lots of events. I'm sure you know all the stuff that is also happening around you. So do attend stuff, do jam, and have fun doing it. The times are crazy, yeah. So, but do creative, interesting things and survive. Yeah. Thank you for having me. Also, yep.
Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Glad to be here. All right, cool. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Alright, guys. Meanwhile, the results have been compiled. We can watch some trailers from our sponsors and from some of the studios of the speakers that came to take the session. So sit back and enjoy the trailers. I do hope you can see the screen though. Well, somehow I crashed. My fault.
பெத்தவ புத்தி கலங்க அப்பனும் கைவிரிக்க எல்லாத்தையும் இழந்து வந்திருக்க. வாராசா உட்காரு. இந்த கையே சொப்பனத்துல பார்த்த கை குடியில விழுந்து சொகத்துல புரண்டு இருட்டுல தொலைஞ்சி மறுசன்மம் எடுத்து வந்திருக்க. நீ ஆள பிறந்தவனா? அழிக்க பிறந்தவனா? வெடிச்ச நாட்டுல புரட்சி வெடிச்ச ஊருல நீ போற வழியெல்லாம் பகை முளைக்கும். ஒரு வாழ் உன் பகைய முடிக்கும். உன் உள்ளங்கை ரேக அவங்கள பார்த்து சிரிக்கும். உனக்காக ஒரு அரியாசனம் காத்திருக்கு. அது அடைகிற வழியில உன்னை அழிச்சு உடைக்க ஒரு ராஜ்யமே காத்திருக்கு. ரத்தம் குடிச்சு சுருள் வாழ்தாகம் தீந்து 1000 தலை வாங்கி மகுடம் சூடி எல்லாம் முடிச்சு நீ அரியணை ஏறும்போது என்ன மிஞ்சோ ராசா?
Yama sent his errand boy. Tell the Lord of Death he'll have to come collect me himself. Died 1,000 deaths to get to you, Boomy. And I will die 1,000 more to save you. I'm coming, Boomy. I'm coming.
The visions. They're getting clearer. No matter where I look, it all leads to the same end. just come in. He's already part of everything that's breaking.
He always was, Raj.
Didi, this isn't a place meant for the living.
Then why does it feel like it remembers us?
Because Vitala isn't just a realm. It's everything the world tried to forget. Careful! Even the light here isn't what it seems.
I'm not afraid of what's broken.
You should be. I've seen what happens if we fail.
Then stop looking at the future and fight with me in the present.
Yet I have no life, just form of art.
Give me round and still water clear.
On polished surfaces, so have no fear.
Though I cannot speak, I always reply.
Mimicking your movements, as truth cannot lie. Tell me, child, what am I?
The elders spoke of this long before we were born, when the heavens are opened before their time and the balance is broken. The one who sees all paths will stand at the edge of creation and chooses what survives.
Then why me?
Because you are the only one who can stand there and not turn away. I hate that it's you. But we don't get to decide that anymore. When it happens, you choose what becomes of you.
It's too dark here.
Hello guys. So we have the results, and are you guys ready for the result? Yes, nice timing. All right. Are you guys ready? All right. So we'll start with the category one, best art direction. Any guesses for best art direction? Any guesses, guys, for the best art direction? The investigation one. Okay. Any more? The detective game. Okay. Exposure. Okay. Well, the best art direction award goes to Nightmare. Nightmare by Forsaken has won the best art direction. Congratulations. Congratulations, Laser, Adi, Satyam, and Legend. For now, the second category is the best rookie game. Any guesses for the best rookie game? Any guesses, guys? Solar Whale. Okay. Any more? All right then. So, wait. The best rookie game goes to Breathline by Wanted Person. Congratulations, Wanted Person. You have the best rookie game. Congratulations. Now, for the second runner-up, any guesses for second runner-up? It is one of my personal favorite games as well. I liked it a lot. So any guesses for this one? Second runner-up. We need the guesses, guys. Second runner-up. Basically the third position. Uh, maybe. Or anyone else? Anyone else have guesses? It could be not. Okay. Yes, Meheran. It is Inverted 101. Congratulations for the second runner-up. It was a very good game. I really liked it. Although I raged quite a few times, but okay. We'll not talk about that. Now, the second runner-up. Who do you think will be the second runner-up? The second runner-up for the game jam. Sorry, my bad. First runner-up. The first runner-up is, yes, it is Shaky. Shaky by Maima. Congratulations. It is the first runner-up. Congratulations, Maima. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. But you have scored the first runner-up. And Harsha, congratulations, Harsha. Congratulations to both of you for securing the first runner-up place. And now, for the winner of Geekroom, Geek N Jam. Who do you think it is? The winner of Geek N Jam. Well, I think it is pretty obvious. Yes, Exposure has won the Geek and Jam contest, Game Jam. Congratulations to Laser, Adi, Satyam, and Legend. Sorry, my bad. I'm extremely sorry. Sorry. Congratulations to Soham Pawar and Samarth Swami, Shriya Nagarkar, and Sanskar Roth, aka Noob OP. Congratulations to all of you who won today's, and whosoever who didn't come in top 5, congratulations to you guys as well. You guys also did come in top 10, so it is a big achievement. So thank you everyone, and congratulations to everyone. And yeah, that concludes a month and a half long Geek and Jam, a 2 month Geek and Jam. Congratulations to everyone. Congratulations, people. Thank you for joining Geek and Jam. Congratulations, everyone.